Here's a project I've been working on. It's called QIP, Components that are Quick, Isolated, and Portable. As you can see, here's a bunch of text and information, but let's just jump down to the demos. So here I have a common problem, which is to render Markdown and also highlight code. And so you can see here as I edit, it's updating everything. And if you see down here, let a equals 42, magic number, you can see you can just write JavaScript code and it comes through here. And so you'll notice some stats underneath. There's a WASM stat that says that this is 58 kilobytes of WebAssembly that's been downloaded to my browser. So everything is self-contained. It's actually two WebAssembly modules, one to do the Markdown to HTML transformation, and a second one to highlight the syntax highlight the TypeScript that's here. You can see that there's working memory. So we're using 24 megabytes of allocated memory, fixed size memory, to do this. So this is actually a maximum cap. So the operating system is being asked for 24 megabytes, but it might not necessarily have used all of that because the operating system will just zero that out. And if it notices that a memory page is untouched, it's just going to, it's sort of just waiting there to be used up. But effectively, this is a maximum cap. So we will not go over 24 megabytes of memory. And this is really important because things have memory leaks. A lot of our websites and apps today just use memory very eagerly, and I want to put hard limits in place. The third thing you'll notice is that this thing is really quick. It's taking 0.2 milliseconds to re-render, and so yeah, as I type, it's updating live. And so to get to use this component, you can use it in the browser with the QIP edit custom component, and of course I'm going to be coming out with a bunch of React components and stuff for that ecosystem to make that really easy. But you can essentially see the ingredients here. We're downloading two WebAssembly modules. We've just got a text area, and then this QIP edit's going to wire all this up and get this to render live as I type. But wait, there's even more. So we also have support for Canvas. So I essentially vibe coded this, iterated to get the look and information that I wanted. You can see here we've got this canvas with a chart showing OpenAI as AIR, so annual recurring revenue, versus Anthropic. And you'll notice that Anthropic's starting to, looks like it's taking over here. So you can see that we can switch between linear and log. So this is something specifically asked for, and you can hover over any point, and you'll see that the source for that point. So there was a report here from the Financial Times and so forth. And here is something that really pushed the development of the system, but also I use coding agents a lot. The ones from a few weeks ago, so they're not as smart as the ones today, but you will see that I get this cover flow experience. And so you will see that I get keyboard support and mouse support. So if I click on a cover, it's going to jump to that cover and I can drag. And so again, these things, you can always see the amount of WebAssembly that's downloaded. So I've got 100 kilobytes here. It's using 14 megabytes of memory, the fixed size memory again to render this experience. And then you'll, because this stuff's interactive, there's a tick. So when events happen, it's going to call a tick function to update the state, and the render function. So this is where I use coding agents to really optimize the hell out of this. And so you can see that we're getting 8 milliseconds. So we're effectively rendering all the pixels again and again at each frame. So we're doing something very naive here, where we're just re-rendering everything, but you can see that I get the silky smooth experience. And so I'm really looking to experiences where like it's sort of like what React did, where it's just like, what if the component just returns the DOM and then something updates it magically? What if we did that for pixels? And that's effectively what we've got here. And the last example here is I've got a Sudoku app, and so You can click and we've got lots of potential here for games. And so you can see here as I type the number, I've entered the wrong one here, and it's updating live to tell me that's not a valid move. So you can see here 6, it's invalid. So this is QIP. We've got interactive components that render canvas, and we've got what I call content components that render anything, that essentially transform anything to anything else. So I'll go into those more in future videos.